Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. Got some Coyote motor mounts for a 78, 79 Bronco or half-ton pickup on the table here. Not really sure if it's a good day when you start out with some good welds or a bad day. Good day, because the welds will be spot on today. But it could be a bad day because I started out really good and that means I have to finish it that way. Now, building some motor mounts here. Actually for kind of a special project. We might go pick it up today. The motor mounts are not for that project, but I'm doing some partial trade work out for a set of these mounts for the project. So we're gonna get these welded up here, get them cleaned up, and then we'll get them taken out to them maybe today. Not gonna really say much more about that. So get these welded up, and then after the kiddos get off to school, we got lots of stuff to do. So let's get going. Guys, got really cold here last night. Actually, it actually froze, freezing to death. It was like 75 degrees yesterday. Anyway, thought I'd show you these. So these are the motor mounts that I've built for our Coyote swaps on these Broncos, and they are a factory bolt-in location deal. So your factory motor mount bracket here has 2 bolts here, 2 bolts under here, and 2 bolts here. So this guy goes on the back set of those holes. You take this piece off. Those just get bolted back through to hold the shock tower on that side, and you use these 4 here and then put 1 there. You gotta drill a hole for that one, but they bolt right in. They've got a little oversized hole, so they do have a little bit of movement to them and play. I just put a washer on them, call it good. Same with the side tabs there. I've got them set up so you can shift the motor from side to side to make it clear. They actually fit pretty good. That's what's in Berta here. Can't really see them. Actually, I don't think you can see them at all without crawling underneath of it. But yeah, these are the mounts I've been building for those. Anyone's interested, let me know. Hit me up, comments, or shoot me an email at minterfab@gmail.com. But yeah, they work pretty good. So I am going to take these and drop these off this morning. I got the truck and trailer hooked up. We got to go get some measurements on another project for some house stuff for a contractor, and then pick up some steel for that, and pick up another surprise. So let's get going. All right, guys, there. What you see on my trailer is a 1968 Ford Fairlane. Undesirable boat, except to me. That was my first car. I got that car when I was like 14 and a half, 15. All stock, bench seat, AM radio hubcaps. 289, C4, 8-inch, bone stock, mint green, vinyl top. Not what I wanted for my first car, but drove it. It gave me some fits. Actually had a bad engine in it, had a bad head gasket and a cracked head we found later. So my dad and I rebuilt the motor, and that motor was put through its paces for a long time. After high school, I parked it. Needed a lot of work. I was a young broke kid, got married, bought a house. It sat. So I put it up for sale, regrettably. And then, well, I didn't regret it until years later. So I found some paperwork on it, I don't know, probably 6 years ago, 5 years ago maybe at this point, probably 6. And I was able to track down the new owner. And it just happened to be that the guy was kind of hurting for money. So I made him an offer. I went and picked the car up, and fate would have it, even if I wouldn't have found the car with the paperwork, we would have seen it probably within a couple weeks anyway, because it was in a small town out in eastern Washington, and my dad's buddy has a cabin out there, and my dad was actually heading that direction a couple weeks later. It was sitting right on Main Street. We would have found it either way. I got the car back. It was even rougher condition than when I had it. It sat outside. It hadn't been ran in years. It was missing one of the original wheels, the appliance wheels that I had sold it with. I think it had hit a curb because the front end was all messed up. I did get it running again and drove it down the road about 100 yards and turned around and brought it back and realized that I had to go through the whole thing. So, long story short, I did a bunch of work to it. It's 4-linked, coilover in the back. It's got a whole bunch of roller bearing suspension setup stuff in the front instead of the factory Ford bushings. And then I went to put a Coyote in it, and it wouldn't fit with the shock towers. So I bought a bunch more parts. I bought a bunch of Mustang 2 stuff. I bought a bunch of Willwood stuff. The Willwood stuff's actually on the Ford front end right now. But I was faced with a choice: either spend a bunch more time and money on this car and not build my Bronco, or build my Bronco. So we sold the car to build the Bronco so it could get done right away without putting out a bunch of other money for it. So sold the car. I knew the guys bought it just for the 3rd gen Coyote that was in it. And lo and behold, over the years, I'd made some connections with other people who knew them. I knew where it was sitting, but I didn't really know the guys just other than selling them the car. So they got a hold of me through a friend, and we talked. I made him an offer. I bought the car back. The only thing it's missing is the Coyote. I got all the Mustang 2 stuff, 4-link still in it. I got the original wheels, the fiberglass hood that I had for it, the Willwood brakes, all that stuff are still on the front of it. We're gonna have to do a little tweaking to get the car off the trailer, because they put roller wheels on it and they're actually rubbing on the Willwood brakes. So that's not cool, but we'll get it fixed. We'll get it up in the air when I get home at some point and get it spaced out with those junk wheels on it so we can get it off the trailer. Yeah, kind of excited, kind of scared. There's a lot of work that needs done on that thing. It's about 6 different shades of ugly. The vinyl top's junk, and I'll put a picture of it in here. This is actually me racing it at our local drag strip when I was in high school, and she does not look like that anymore. But I think we're gonna kind of go back with a minimalistic paint job, and I don't know if I'll put a vinyl top back on it, but I'll probably paint the top black at least to mimic the vinyl top. Yeah, gonna make it handle well. Like I said, I got big sway bars on it, coilovers all the way around, Mustang 2, big brakes. I've got a little 302 and a T5 to put in it. It's got a 9-inch in the back. It'll be fun. I'm excited. It's probably not gonna be a project that's gonna happen right away. I might get the Mustang 2 stuff put in it so I can get rid of this front end setup that's in it. I've got a buddy who wants it now, I guess. So yeah, should be fun. So we get back, I'll show you guys the car a little more. Probably a lot of talking, but big backstory. So we'll get back to the shop later. right, guys, so that's a quick look at the Fairlane. Just kind of some little beauty shots of it there. She's a real beaut, Clark. Anyway, definitely a project. Probably more than I remember, but kind of have some sentimental attachment to it. This seat that I use to program stuff in for the plasma table, and that wheel all came off that car. So kind of crazy. We still use that. And then over here somewhere, oh yeah, right up here on the shelf, that is the hood scoop that was on that car in a couple of those pictures from Renegade. And then I actually have a piece of trim for that car that was on the side of it originally that I've kept for years. Never intended on putting it back on there, but even when I've sold the car, I've always had it. It's hanging up around here somewhere, but anyway, I got a bunch of parts for that still underneath here, this shelf up here. So there's our big 6-piston Willwoods for it, manual steering rack, Mustang 2, tubular A-arms, QA1 coil springs for the front. There's a set of QA1 shocks over here in a box, shocks in a box. Well, made a liar out of myself. They're around here somewhere, but I do have the set of, oh no, they're right here. They are underneath that. Set of front shocks for the front end. Like I said, it has a set of two-way adjustable QA1s in the back. I need to get some stiffer springs for those. So that might come in here this winter and be tinkered with. I don't really want to plug up a bay with it, but we have a big white Lincoln outside that needs a whole front end cut off of it, so it's probably going to sit here. Don't pay attention to this. We'll get into that later. But probably going to sit on the lift or in the lift bay so we can do a bunch of front end work on it. And then where that thing is at, might put the Fairlane there for a little bit. I do need to get the Princess frame in here for that other big Bronco and get it stripped and get it taken apart and set to powder coat, but I want to put the motor and stuff in it first. So got a lot to do on that. We are definitely busy around here. Got some other projects for some home stuff, building some gable vent boxes for a house, for some fruit people around here that are tired of the woodpeckers eating their wooden gable vents. So we're making some nice metal ones that they can't peck on. So lots to do, lots to do. So, all right, guys, I guess I'll keep you updated on that. I'm gonna get the engine going on it. My dad is and stuff. So definitely going to be working on that here and there. So we'll add that to our list of things to do, which are over there on the whiteboard and keep getting longer. So anyway, until next time, guys, keep building awesome stuff, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.